Well, hello, this is Rosa, rcgkreations. Creations. How are you doing? We're bringing to you it's mighty hot here in Texas, and we're not using the oven at all. So tonight's supper is going to be pan-fried fish. We bought our fish at the grocery store frozen. I like them because they're individually wrapped. So put a little oil or butter, either one. I do a little of both because I like the butter flavor. Let me turn my stove on. It's going to be a little high at first just to get the butter melted. Now the way I do it is I put the seasonings all in the bottom of the pan once everything's been melted. Okay. Oh, I need my spatula. So now I'm just melting my butter. I've got some black beans. Don't forget, if you buy the canned kind, rinse off the beans before you cook them to heat them up. And then I've got a can of cream corn just to have as 2 side dishes, because we're not going to eat any kind of bread or nothing with it. Just going to be the fish and the 2 things of veggies. It asks for 2 tablespoons of butter. And I just got this off the internet. I wanted something different besides the same old tilapia, oh, what's that called that I do? I do this all the time. Okay, so my beans are boiling. I'm going to turn them down to a low simmer because it's only going to take 6 minutes for the fish to cook. Let me just do a quick little stir. Put it down on the simmer. If you want to, you can put a top on it, a lid, but I'm not going to because that's extra mess that I got to wash. And I'm just got it on a low simmer because remember, when you get them out of the can, they're already cooked. So you can technically eat them out of the can. I'm just heating them up so it's better for our palate when we're eating them. And this is not at a rapid boil yet on the corn. Once the corn comes to a rapid boil, then I'll turn it down to a low simmer also. Okay. Oh, I did the wrong one. Let me turn that back burner down to a low simmer. Let me get back the corn. Okay, so we're going to put our seasonings down. We're going to be using a little bit of cherry cola. I'm going to turn down my heat. I've got a little too much heat. I sprinkle, and I'll show you in a minute. I just sprinkle the entire pan. That's just me, because once I lay my fish down, I don't move it around. It just lays where it lays, and there's where it stands. Got me some ground thyme. And let me just do a little bit, because I don't want a whole lot of this, but I want enough for some flavor. And I'm going to leave this open because I'm going to coat the other side once it's time to flip it. Some black pepper. Salt. I'm just going to be using our kosher salt. Now be careful, this has salt already in it because this is a pre-made mix. Once I figure out a way on how to make my own, I'll be making my own, but I haven't figured out the recipe yet to do it myself. I like to experiment and do my own when possible, but until then I'll continue to buy the store-bought stuff. And then the last one is some smoked paprika. Let me add a little bit more of that. Okay, my corn is out to a boil now. Let's put that baby down to a simmer. I'm going to use my spatula, and I'm going to coat that butter and that oil all in here, because I want all of this to be in here. And then let me bring you close. What I want to do is, you see where the butter is in the center, where I'm going to lay the fish, because that's got all the coating and the seasonings. It's going to be all that awesome flavorness. See that? So now just raise the heat back up. Let it get to sizzling. Once it starts to sizzle again, and you notice when I did this, it took off all the seasonings off my hands, off my fingers. Let me do a quick little stir of my beans. I don't want them to burn, but they're on a low simmer. I don't add any water or anything to it. Hubby and I don't care for watered down beans. And let me stir my corn. All I'm stirring is because I'm waiting on that to heat back up again. It's the only reason I'm doing it. Okay, come on, you should be frying, you should be sizzling. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. So, let me get one of my pieces of my fish. Yeah, you hear that sizzle? That means my pan's hot enough. You don't want it too hot, but you want it hot enough so it'll cook. And try not to splatter like I just did just now. I'm going to do this over here to the side. I just don't want to spill any of the fish juice on my floor. Excuse me. Okay, where they land is where they land. I'm going to do a quick real rinse because I just touched that fish. And get myself some soap. Just because I want to make sure I don't cross-contaminate any of my tools. Okay, now, while that's sizzling, you're only going to cook it 3 minutes. So, go back to the seasonings on this side. I just like to smoke paprika because of the flavor it does. Now I'll put this over to the side, other side of my stove, so I know. And I know I can, once I flip it, I got all this extra seasoning on here. But I want to always have a little bit on there when it's frying, just so it adheres and coats. Oh! And that spill was my fault. I poured it too far. Let me grab a spoon. This is what happens sometimes. It does. It happens to everybody. And I got way too much. I don't want all this on there, and I'm keeping an eye on my timer because you don't move the fish, you leave it where it lands. Okay, let me just put my hand in there a little bit. I tried not to do too much of that because I don't want to cross-contaminate the seasonings. But I made a big spill. Here's that cherry cola flavor. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. I want to make sure this is on the seasoning. And I don't want to burn my seasonings, so I'm going to move this around. It's actually cooked. It's been cooking for 2.5 minutes. I just see this part over here of my stove, of my pan, that started to burn a little bit, and I don't want it to burn too much. Okay. Okay. Nice little sear there. Now I'm just going to move this around so it gets all the seasonings, all the flavors. Then I'm going to let it sit here for 2.5 minutes. Now I'm going to turn down my heat because it's way too hot now. Let's turn down this heat. I just want to coat all those juices, the flavors, the butter. And then dinner's going to be ready in less than 15 minutes. That's prepping everything, which is I opened up a can of beans, I opened a can of corn, stick it in the pot, heated it up, got my seasonings, and we'll be ready to eat. And these kind of meals are my 2 thumbs up. Okay, sorry about that. I am sweating. You can tell I wipe my forehead. So we get ready to do the taste test in just a minute. We've got about half a minute left. Then I'll clean up my big mess that I just made. I'm going to stir my corn here. We'll turn that up just a tad. Stir my beans a little bit. Oh, I guess I need to put a little bit of water in there. My beans are a little dry. Let's put some water in there. Just a little bit, not a lot. Yeah, just it needs a little bit of water. Yeah, a little bit more. Because I like my black beans juicy wet. I don't like them dry. I know some people like them dry, but I do not. So I'm just going to add a little water. Do it a quick little stir. Time is up. Turn off the heat. Turn off the heat on all my burners. And we're going to do the taste test and then move you around. Okay. There you go. Let me grab a fork. One for me and one for hubby. We'll be eating in just a few minutes. Let me grab me some beans. I don't like all that extra juice. But I do like to cook my black beans with some juice in it when it's cooking. Let me get me some corn. Now this is cream corn. You can do any corn. You can use any vegetable you want. We're just using what we have in the house right now. That's all we're doing. I get the little small one. And hubby gets the other 2. And now for the biggest part. The taste test. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, but let me show you so you know my fish is done. Look at that. It's nice and flaky. And that's what you want with any fish. You want a flaky fish. So let's just taste the fish by itself first. Oh yeah. I don't need any seasonings whatsoever. None. Oh, you're too far down. Let me bring you up just a tad. Okay. Because this video for sure is definitely going to be under my 15-minute time frame that I give myself. So, here's some corn, black beans, and some fish. Ready to eat supper in the summertime or when it's hot and you don't want to use the oven? Fry you up in a skillet some fish. We thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.